You know, fam, there is one thing I'm always good at. It's keeping promises. And my promise I made to Harman, oh yeah, I kept that promise. And if you don't know what that promise is, well, sucks to be you because you're about to get some cursed images in your head. You know what, fam? His form is not really that bad at all. He's pretty good at this ballerina stuff. You know, he should really take it as a profession here. We got this far, don't know how. You know, fam, his form is really not that bad. I can't even say that with a straight face, I swear. I see danger in us. I'm gonna get so many angry DMs later. Oh, I know my DMs are probably going to be blowing up in the next couple minutes. As soon as this video goes live, everybody's going to be asking me, Gar, what is wrong with you? Why did you make that intro? Why did you make a cursed video of freaking Harman being a ballerina? Well, because I could. And I said, and I promised Harman too, if he made another ridiculous video, I was going to turn him into, well, I was going to put him in a tutu, but I decided to upgrade him to a ballerina. Now, a lot of you are asking right now, Gar, what is wrong with your voice? Are you sick or something? No, this just happens sometimes. My voice likes to change up sometimes with you guys listening to me. You know, that type of thing. Yeah, I'm creeping you guys out right now, aren't I? Can't tell which one is my real voice, can you? Oh yeah, I'm gonna have fun with you guys today, but not as much as I'm gonna have fun with Harman over here. So without further ado, fam, please make sure to go grab yourself a nice little drink and a nice little snack, and we're gonna go ahead and just dive right into that content, because boy oh boy, Harman is freaking out about the PlayStation 2 sales, and it is fucking hilarious.
Alright, now that we know for a fact, it has been proven, that Sony is faking the sales numbers of their consoles.
Nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Harman, I want you to do us a favor, buddy. I want you to show proof. I want you to show us some actual proof that, you know, that they're actually faking these numbers, because honestly, every time I see you, you're just spouting all this ridiculous nonsense, and I kind of sit here and think to myself, is Harman okay? Does Harman actually think about, you know, maybe playing some video games instead of just freaking out what the competition's doing as per usual? Oh wait, never mind. This is Harman Smith. Who the hell am I talking about anyway? Of course he's gonna freak out if anything's more popular than his precious Nintendo Switch. Like, oh my god.
We really had to think about the implications of this. You know, what does it mean in the wider terms of the relevancy? Did the PS3 actually outsell the 360? How high were the PS2 sales really? Did the Vita bomb worse?
You care.
Harman, I don't understand why it concerns you so damn much of which corporation gets more consoles sold out to the public. Like, it doesn't matter. By the end of the day, you have your own preferred console and you could just go have fun for yourself. And I have a feeling that there's people picking on you and you kind of just react to it. But like, dude, get off the internet and go play on your little Nintendo Switch and go enjoy yourself, dude. I don't understand why you officiate yourself with other people's opinions so damn badly.
Because we know for a fact that they did not sell 160 million units of those things.
Harman, please give us an explanation as to why there's not 160 million units sold. Please explain to me, because I could go to my retro shop right now and I see like 10s, 12, 15s of those units over there right now. I can see a whole bunch over there versus like an N64 and those other things. There are so many PS2s I've seen in my life. It's not even a funny fucking joke at all.
It becomes very obvious to me that the DS also outperformed it. You know, those things are still floating around. Meanwhile, you don't see a PlayStation 2 in sight.
Oh, come on!
Well, of course, if you're just going to GameStop, yeah, you're not going to see one there, Harman, because they don't sell those anymore. Like, where are you going, dude? Are you even going to retro shops anymore? Because all the retro shops where I go into my state, there are plenty of PS2s to go pick up from.
You know, like the DS is still relevant, the Wii is still relevant, N64s are still relevant. You don't see PS2s anyway, is my point.
Oh!
I have probably watched like a million fucking Harman videos, but holy shit, I have never seen this man tweak out this hard in my life before. No, this isn't normal Harman Smith like coping and seething. No, this is advanced coping and seething. Oh my god.
How relevant was this thing really?
Apparently it was so relevant, Harman, that about 4,000 consoles were bought and shipped to Iraq, and a certain figure there wanted to make himself a supercomputer. Yeah, I'll go ahead and leave that article in the description for you guys to look at. That I saw that and I was like, wow, that is absolutely insane. But yeah, apparently it was that relevant enough, Harman, that certain leaders in this world wanted to use the PS2s to make a supercomputer.
Because more and more information is coming out in regards to the PS2's failure rate.
Has been known for a very long time, just like the sales numbers with the PlayStation 2, Harman. That was always estimated between like 144 million units sold or 160 million units, sold. It's nothing new, Harman.
This idea that like PS2 was like miles ahead of them just seems like a complete and total cope.
Harman, pick a lane here. It's either they're coping or that they're lying. You have to pick one lane here because you can't just be, jumping back and forth on these freaking lanes here saying, oh, it's this or it's that. It's not helping you in your arguments like at all.
Because of the DVD player. The fact that we even talk about that at all, the DVD player, that should in and of itself like kind of address the core problem with the PlayStation brand as a whole, is that it was never about the games. It was always about like the FMV, the multimedia features, the discs, right? It had nothing to do with like what was actually available on the platform.
That's kind of funny though, because it was an entertainment console where you can play video games, watch movies, and play music on it. It was a genre defining console. Like, holy crap, this thing can do all this and it's a low price. Oh yeah, no, we're getting this for everybody to entertain everybody. And mind you, the console itself and the video games that were put onto it, Harman, took full advantage of it. You want to know which games took advantage of it? Monster Hunter Ranch. Yeah, that game right there. If you go to a certain corner of the market and they'll be asking you, hey, do you have like a CD disc or like an album that you want to put into the the console? We'll go ahead and read it and we'll go ahead and give you a monster based off of that disc. That shit was so fucking cool, Harman. It blew my tiny little mind at that time.
What exactly were people playing on their PlayStation 2s? Absolutely nothing.
Well, Harman, there was a lot of games we were playing, like Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, Jak and Daxter, Grand Theft Auto, Shadow of the Colossus, Ratchet and Clank. Man, there were some other ones too. A famous fighting game that was famous on the PS2. Wasn't it called like Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi, the Mortal Kombat series, the Final Fantasy series, Devil May Cry series? Oh yeah, the list goes on, Harman. I could sit here for like another 5 minutes and just start banging these out.
Everything was ported to Xbox or it was on PC, right? There was no reason to own a PS2 ever.
Do you ever listen to the stuff that comes out of your mouth? Because that is some high-level, Class A, deluxe bullshit you're talking.
So wait, you're telling me Jak and Daxter, the Kingdom Hearts series, Gold got ported to PC and Xbox around that time? I don't remember Kingdom Hearts being on Xbox at all. Like, what are you smoking, Harman?
Unless you were like going for these really low-quality PS2 titles that the shovelware, the exclusives, right? Like they existed, right?
Oh, please, Harman. Please name the shovelware games. I'm so curious right now. Not like those shovelware games that got put onto the PS2 didn't exactly last that long. They did not sell that well. And on top of that, too, if you're going to throw the PS2 under the freaking bus in that situation, then you need to throw the Nintendo Switch under the bus, too, because they've got plenty of shovelware on there, too.
Already, like games like Devil May Cry and Resident Evil 4, like whatever was coming, like it was all lower quality.
Harman, the only reason why you bash on those games because those games aren't designed to hold your hand like Nintendo games, okay? That's the major difference between those old school games and your games these days. These games these days will hold your hand. And Harman, when the graphics on your precious little Nintendo Switch look worse than PS2's, I don't think you got any room to talk about fucking how terrible the PS2 was, like at all.
When you look at Silent Hill 4, You see a game that did not hit the highs that Silent Hill 2 did.
Yeah, it's totally like Konami didn't fuck over that development team, now did it, Harman?
And that's indisputable, right? It has nothing to do with like Konami screwing over Team Silent.
Tell me you know nothing about Konami without telling me you know nothing about Konami. Hey, Metal Gear fans, I'm about to trigger you real quickly. Pachinko machines.
For development, things were getting worse for game devs even then because of the evil influence of Sony PlayStation.
Jesus Christ, we get it.
Attempting to do that has led to the bankruptcy of several developers. You know, people like Silicon Knights, like Factor 5, like, probably more than I can name, honestly.
Harman, you do understand that the lawsuit between Silicon Knights wasn't with Sony, right? It was with Epic Games. The reason why that happened was because it was over the game engine, which was Unreal Engine 3, which was used to make a certain game called Too Human. Yeah, no, that one did, that one was absolute trash. And as for Factor 5, they failed on their own occasion because they didn't set their financial priorities. Correct, Harman? So again, I don't see how this is Sony's fault in this situation, because majority of these problems that these developers had were their own problems that they did not, have hindsight to see.
At what the PS2 generation actually accomplished, when you look at its legacy, you see jack shit.
Of course, and in your opinion, if none of these games held your hand like, Nintendo does, of course they're not going to mean anything to you, Harman, because they're not going to course you through and say, oh, look at you, you did such a good job, congrats, Harman.
Is PS2's big claim to fame, it had Kingdom Hearts.
Be very careful with the next thing you say.
A game that could have easily run on a GameCube.
Harman, there is no way in hell Kingdom Hearts would be able to run on the GameCube. Like, are you kidding me right now? Do you understand that Super Smash Bros, the was not Ultimate, but Melee, barely ran fluently on there? And you're telling me that it's going to be in Kingdom Hearts, which is a very fluent game when, you need to be you're doing a lot of wombo combos and all that type of stuff. You're telling me that would have ran perfectly fine on the GameCube? Hell no.
Like it had Metal Gear Solid 2, a game that nobody really liked.
That nobody cares about? Are you sure about that, Harman? Are you going to double down on that one? Because you know what's even funnier in that situation? If that was the case, then why do you have a poster in your room of the Metal Gear series? Why do you have that if that's supposedly the case, that nobody cared about Metal Gear? Think about that one.
And that's what led to the PS3 bombing and why Sony never recovered.
Sony never recovered? Well, what? So never... who's here right now? No, we're going on to the next one. No.
The PlayStation 2 was never that popular.
Harman, your word isn't worth shit anymore. I need some solid proof. I need some solid proof that, counter Sony's selling 160 million units, and I really doubt you have it.
That feeling extends also to its sister console, the PSP. Something that people seriously pretend was competing with the Nintendo DS.
Oh, what, you gonna cry? You gonna cry now?
I will never understand why these fanboys think it's a really good idea not to have competition. It's like they support monopolies, but they'll go after like companies like Microsoft and say it was a monopoly, but as soon as their own company does it, they're perfectly fine with it.
This was supposed to be some giga thing that was supposed to put Nintendo out of business. This was like their big play, right?
Harman, there is no shot in hell Sony can RKO Nintendo into the graveyard. Do you understand that? There is no way, possibility that they could do it. You want to know why? Because Nintendo owns one of the biggest franchises in the world. It's called Pokemon, okay? There's no way in hell they could topple Nintendo unless somehow, some way, in some cold hell in an alternative universe, they take Pokemon away from Nintendo. That is the only way I could see they could topple Nintendo in this situation, Harman. Otherwise, PlayStation doesn't have a chance in hell.
PS2 quality visuals on a handheld. And what happened? They completely and utterly failed.
I don't think selling over 80 million units is a failure, Harman. Like, I'm just going to be straight up honest with you. If I sold like 80 million units of like a book, I don't consider that a failure. I consider that a success.
They failed so badly that I honestly can't even name like a single PSP game.
Let's see, I think one of the Persona games were on there, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, Tag Force, and I believe it was one of the Dragon Ball Z games on there, and I'm missing a couple few, but I can picture them in my head right now. But then again, Harman, I actually played those games unlike you.
You know, like, I don't know anything about the console. Nobody remembers it. Nobody cares. It is a joke.
Well, one truthful thing came out of that whole sentence out of your mouth, Harman. You don't know shit about the console.
Like, when you get right down to it, Sony was driven out of this space because they could not be competitive. And now the same thing is happening to their console brand.
Hey, Harman, I got a serious question for you. Since we're not in, well, that year of COVID and everybody was in lockdown and everything, you know, everybody was buying consoles left and right. I wonder how Nintendo's going to handle with their next generation of hardware. Are they going to sell as much as the Nintendo Switch? I don't know, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know the answer like you.
They've never been able to put out 2 successful consoles in a row. Yeah, because back then Sony had complete control over everything and was ruining their image worldwide.
Please explain to me how Sony was ruining their own image in that situation when they ruined it by themselves with the Wii U. Hell, nobody had an idea the Wii U was a fucking console by itself. We all thought it was an accessory for the Wii. That poor management of like naming it and literally barely any advertisement for it, that's what really fucked up Nintendo's own image, and it was caused by Nintendo, not Sony.
The fact that they're primarily concerned about something so petty says a lot about the company.
Harman, come on, bro. You're gonna call them petty when you sit here every single fucking day sucking off Nintendo, saying everything else is inferior. Bro, no, you are petty and pathetic. That is like a total, oh my god, I have no comment. I'm not doing this anymore. Thank God that is all the content. It is almost 5 o'clock in the morning, fam. I appreciate you guys watching this video, I really do. And if you guys enjoy this type of content, please leave a like and comment in the comment section. Always a pleasure to talk to you guys. And hey, if you want more of my type of content, subscribe to the channel. I'll definitely have more content coming for you guys. But besides that, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video, next live stream. Who really freaking knows, to be honest with you. But you know what, fam? I'll see you in the next one. Later.